Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Balakand, chapter number 15. The Devatas take refuge with Lord Vishnu. The recitation starts now. Then Rishi Shringa, whose mind was capacious enough to receive and retain the numerous sakhas of the Vedas, and who was a thorough master of the mysteries connected therewith, after long and earnest thought, hit upon the most effective method of realizing the king's wishes. With a glad face, he turned to him and said, "Now shall I perform for you an Ishti consecrated by the Atharvana mantras that will not fail to get you a son." And in the course of the rite, he made an offering in the fire, accompanied by powerful Vedic mantras. Meanwhile, the various devatas that came down to the horse sacrifice to receive their portions of the offerings approached their chief, the lotus-born Brahma, and said, "O Lord, a Rakshasa Ravana by name has won your favor by his wonderful austerities and has been blessed with so many mighty boons in consequence. But we, poor souls, have to pay for it. Bound by our respect for the giver of those boons, we have to put up without a murmur of his unheard of cruelties. The three worlds tremble at his name. He will in no time drive away from their thrones Indra and the other regions of the spheres and occupy them himself. Strong in the strength of his boons, he bids defiance to everyone, sages and brahmanas, yakshas and gandharvas, devas and asuras, and grinds them low. The sun draws in his heat when he shines on the demon and adjusts his warmth to his taste. The wind god is afraid to blow hard through his gardens, lest the flowers therein should fall off the trees and creepers and anger Ravana when he is disporting himself there. The roaring ocean with his mutinous waves stands tongue-tied with fear at his approach. His fierce look strikes dire terror into our hearts, and we drag on lives of misery and fear. Seek thou some means to relieve us from this living terror." "O Devatas, shining ones," replied Brahma, "the wicked wretch prayed of me immortality from the Devas, the Gandharvas, and Rakshasas, and that I granted him. But fortunately for you, he has omitted to ask it from men, as being too far beneath his fear and notice. There is his weak point, and we should be made to meet his death at the hands of man." The hearts of sages and the gods danced for very joy at this glad news, and they rejoiced as if the hour of their deliverance was already at hand. Then there appeared before their delighted eyes the glorious Lord Vishnu, the ruler of the universe and the living Supreme Lord in the hearts of all beings. In his supreme effulgence stood he, his face resplendent with the thought that the time had come to destroy the wicked and bring peace and comfort to the hearts of the good and the righteous. He ever bears in his hands the conch and the disc to extend his protection to those that seek refuge in him. Brahma advanced to reverence him, his mind actively engaged with the prayer he meant to place before him. Then the Devatas hymned him high and with bent heads and joined palms cried, "We pray thee that thou deign to be born as the four sons unto Dasaratha, of righteous heart and saintly life, the Lord of Ayodhya, from whom none ever ask in vain. Do thou take human form through his three queens, who are even as mortal embodiments of Hri, Shri, and Kirti, and destroy the impious one named Ravana. He is a scourge and the terror of all beings, and is not to meet his death at the hands of any but a man. Proud of his might and prouder still of the boons he had won of Brahma, he tramples on all of us, gods and sages, yakshas and gandharvas, kinnaras and men alike. The lovely apsaras that disport themselves in the charming groves of our Nandana gardens are the special objects of his persecutions. We, the denizens of the three worlds, pray his death at thy hands and take our refuge in thee. Thou art our only stay and support, and we pray that thou wilt be pleased to come down on earth to destroy the wicked Ravana, Indrajit, Lavana, and certain other wicked Gandharvas. Then unto the expectant Brahma and the attendant celestial host spoke the world-honored one, Vishnu, the Lord of all lords. Fear not, my children, all good betide you. I shall come down among men as the sons of Dasaratha, and shall slay in dreadful battle Ravana, the terror of yours, and of every devout and virtuous soul, nay, his sons, his grandsons, friends, and kinsmen, even unto the last remove. And mortal years 11,000 shall I reign over the earth, restoring dharma and law and order. He promised them safety from their enemy and a speedy deliverance to their miseries, and resolved to manifest himself as the sons of Dasaratha, whose saintly virtues attracted him to take birth in his family. Far, far above the mortal changes known as birth and death, himself the goal and the end of all desires and efforts, human and divine. Yet the Supreme Lord made up his own mind to limit his illimitable essence and come down into this dark and sinful world of ours, that the wicked might cease from troubling and the weary be at rest. Then the Devatas, the Gandharvas, the Rudras, and the Apsaras sang his divine glory and repeated their prayer, Soul of compassion, O Lord of infinite mercy, save us from the wrath and the oppression of the terrible Ravana. Slay him in battle dire, him and his kin, him and his countless hosts. Naturally endowed with no inconsiderable degree of pride and might, he has become insufferably so through the boons conferred on him by Brahma. The good and the righteous cry out against him and raise tear-dimmed eyes and trembling hands in mute appeal to thee for deliverance and protection. Their work accomplished, come thou back, light of heart, unto thy radiant seat on high, far beyond the utmost dreams of poor we, unto Vaikuntha, the eternal world where desire is not, nor hatred. Mangalam Kaushalendraya Mahaniya Gunavtiye Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.